So hi, today the main topic is that this kind of really explanation about um how we did how I managed those kind of like markdown some kind of our own new component to the um sorry so how we made some kind of custom markdown components and the troubleshooting. The basically the problem was um we heavily rely on the text. Our first round trip service is heavily rely on the text, but even though it is text, we put really um put a lot of efforts on it. Example, rather than just we didn't write in our hand, but we didn't write the tutorial in our hand, but we tell AI to write it, but we didn't just copy paste it. We look at a bunch of like the research papers, journals, that talks about how teachers to how teacher has to teach the student and how teacher and and what do teacher have to do has to do to teach their student to let them to have a um, better learning skills. And I look at the bunch of research paper. I think I think I will just get that. So this is kind of this is like the minimal part of the research paper I just read. There's a bunch of it. There's like five times of this amount, and we just look and sorry, my brain is not working because I didn't sleep. So for it's just a recap. Our service is called the RunTrick. What is RunTrick? RunTrick is called education platform that the people can just learn like coding without prior knowledge. The difference between the other coding education platform is the lot of coding education platform they just it just how to say it just the declarative. It tells what to do and it doesn't know the users are following that. So we put in the chatbot that it's synced with current chapter, and we put the code editor inside the markdown, so the user can write or execute their code and really can read their markdown with and can ask for the feedback from this right part, which is the chatbot. But the thing we just faced was the people are not really using our product. The reason why I just look at it is because I'm just gonna give you my real our real example of it. This is our webpage looks like. This is called Rodrick. So if the user to so I thought the content is pretty fine and I'm pretty sure it's not really bad, but user faced some kind of difficulties because they just trying to learn programming language, but there's a bunch of the text here. Of course, user can execute this code and user do whatever stuff. If I type some kind of wrong grammar syntax, error throws error. However, the user didn't like it. Um, user didn't like it, so I was wondering, oh, I thought the using text is kind of good, but I didn't think that sometimes relying on the text is not that good. The better one, example image or video, is more priority than the 20 lines of the text. I really totally agree with it, but we didn't have that much resource on it. And I just think about what's the thing that can replace these image but video that but could have me but similar impact but little bit less but there's impact better than the text. I was wondering it and I think about our custom the markdown component, which is the AI learning tips, the quick summary, and the custom block code, and last the lesson complete the card of it. Of course, um, there's already light mode and dark mode. why it's not working? Sorry. So this is localhost. So but never mind. And but the problem that the problem is that um, we have to make this we have to make those kind of the our custom component into markdown, but this thing has to be custom component that we have to make the new our markdown syntax for it, but I never did it before, so I was trying to find some kind of better ones to do it. So when it's like kind of server driven UI, when I receive when the client receives some kind of string markdown string and it has to render some kind of um beautiful markdown UI, which is the quick summary and AI learning tips. And so there's kind of difficulties I face as a front end engineer because there's no some kind of this is my first time and I never tried some kind of custom markdown component with the server driven. And this is how we did. What before rather than putting the bunch of logic before this is our code inside these blocks there's a lot of blocks code because the reason why we imported from the block primitives because our UI is because some of the typography is kind of our own typography. So I have to import it from the UI library, and after that we have to make our custom code component, and then we now have to put it into default blocks or a lot of whatever blocks, and now we have and now we can export it from this using reg markdown the custom components. But this code is kind of trash, and I don't think this is really nice code. The problem of this code is this markdown could be inside of this chatbot and this the page markdown. It has to be separated, but it's turning together, so there is some kind of the UI conflict issue of it. And the I don't think that's kind of belong to the domain, and I think it belongs to the leaf folder, shared leaf folder, and I just make it just the custom library of it. So inside the card, this AI learn tips card is this part, and I already made the basic the components, and I put the display name of it. So based on the display name, I create the registry that the key is gonna be display name. So when it, I think it's kind of really important. So if I try to put display name of the key of it, and now so based on this kind of display name, we can do, we can make this custom component from from the giving the condition of display names. Example, if you look at this part, this is here string. There's a card directive and there's a variant, the quick summary card, and variant AI learn tips. And this part is actually the component display name. So we have, so that is kind of really heavily related on this component display name. But however, since this is single source of truth, we don't have to think about which code which variant name is come from. It just come from the component display name. So we just really easy to debug which part is wrong or not. So based on the registry and in the index.tsx, we make the card block renderer functions that renders our custom components here. So and the card node is our our custom tag name, and we integrate on this part. Because the reason why I separated this UI and li is because in the core directive, this is and treat it as the ULI, and I have to make it consistent that it belongs to the car directly rather than other component. So after that, I was able to make those kind of quick summary and learning tips and whatever things. Um, and that's kind of really the thing what I learned. Um, Sometimes the abstract too much abstraction could lead lots of boilerplate, and it could um, it could make your time more. It could make you to invest more time of it. But however, since I already made abstractions and make and treat this as a library, that if there's more custom component, uh, we we could handle much faster than the other code that heavily rely on the uh, this 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 nonsense boilerplate. Example, this part. This code is really trash. It breaks this single source of truth, and there's no separation of code blocks, chatbot blocks, and the page blocks. So I think this is it. So have a nice session next time. Bye bye.